Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright, the dual Destinies, as Blackwell stands aghast as the realization that things may not be as he thinks they are. Not out of one window, but out the other, the body is gone. Not via drop to the mat, but via a banner has it gone, as we're about to prove that the blood on the pottery is not the victim's blood. Judging by Fulbright's expression, Blackwell is not happy. Fulbright. Looks like they didn't check it. They didn't even check it. They didn't even test it at all. What the hell? Don't let it get you down, Prosecutor Blackwell. Everyone makes mistakes. Spare me your cheek. We will know not either way till the tests are run. True, but in the meantime, I'm gonna press my claim as far as I can. Your boldness. I demand that the blood on the pottery be analysed this instant. Of course. It shouldn't take long to get the results back. Oh my! That was quick! We're history if it turns out to be the victim's blood. It's like, by attacker, airmail. Please, 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 let it be someone else's. It is. Look at him. It seems the blood was not from the victim. What? Furthermore, a comparison with other parties involved with this case reveals that the blood belongs to one Hugh O'Connor. Score! That puts you in the frame, O'Connor. Act! React! Don't worry, Junie. Just try to relax. Hugh's hands. His hands were dripping with blood. Your Honor, as we saw earlier, the witness's left hand had suffered a serious injury. He sustained the wound in a struggle with the victim, and his blood got on the pottery. Then Junie saw his blood-stained hands as they passed each other in the first floor hall. It's the only explanation that covers everything.
Objection!
There is but one way now to turn aside her blade, but do not cast the blame on me. You'll grudge it with Cykes, don't know, for it is she who forces me to expose your secret. Fine. Whatever. Wow, how much does he have on Hugh? The court will observe this odd-looking envelope. It was inside this that Miriam Scuttlebutt's script was found. It had a trap inside it? What the hell? Miss Scuttlebutt's... But didn't the prosecution already claim that? This envelope is the one that contained his script? Circumstances have changed. You see, Golden Boy had hidden this from us all. Let's see here. My word! Talk about the world's most painful paper cut. Indeed. You can clearly see that if this envelope is not opened correctly, a powerful spring-loaded blade will shoot forth, leaving a horrible gash upon the hand. How do you design that? The only one who had been told of the correct way to open it was Constance Court. You really want to see my script that bad? Well, you better watch out. Read it without my permission, and you'll wish you hadn't. What, really? That's what that meant? That seemed so innocuous at the time. Yikes. Miriam wasn't kidding when she said that. The blood on the blade is the witness's. Our genius here tried to sneak a peek at the wrong script and paid for his foolishness. Ouch! This guy's the worst genius I've ever seen! Don't worry, Athena. The wound isn't that deep. We've still got the wire theory. Yeah, I've got it. Since the blood by the window overlooking the maintenance area isn't the victim's, there's no longer any basis for denying the body was moved using the wire and banner. Therefore, the defense once again asserts just that. Okay, what problem do you have with this? Oh, Hugh has the problem. You call yourself a lawyer. But don't you see the glaring contradiction in your thinking? Huh? The court would like to remind the witness that his role is not to point out. And you, how can you adhere to such outdated beliefs? But whatever. It seems you've forgotten the two statues that were on stage directly below the wire. Bodies that sliding down the wire would have crashed into them. Care to explain that away?
Why? I believe he's right. The statues and the wire are extremely close together.
Weren't they not built yet? So the body would have collided with the statues? And what if they did collide? Wait, that's it! Speaking of those statues, we still don't know how they were broken. But if we assume the body crashed into them, that would also explain that loud sound we heard while we were in the waiting room.
Oh, now that you mention it. You and Mr. Wright went out to the stage after you heard that sound, correct?
Objection!
Interesting. How very interesting. But may I ask just one question? When was it that you heard said sound? It was a little after the mock trial had started. Mr. Wright and I were practically bored to tears there in the waiting room when... Ah! Precisely. If that sound you heard did happen while the body was being moved, that would place it during the mock trial. Which means the body wouldn't have been there before the mock trial started. Yeah, but Athena, brains, that doesn't just get Hugh O'Connor off, that also gets Juniper off. You see, right before the mock trial started, I saw the body. We could have been lying about that. You said you saw the body before the mock trial. If so, then my claim the body was moved during the mock trial doesn't hold water. Stupid contradiction. It's gonna get me and our case killed.
The focus was on just 3 suspects because the body was moved before the mock trial. That has been the major premise thus far. Your assertion, therefore, contradicts the very foundations of this case.
Objection!
Both sides still lack incontrovertible evidence. So should we not also treat Golden Boy's testimony with some level of suspicion?
A good point.
Prosecutor Blackwell is on our side! I bet he's figured out the truth behind this case. Well, great, as long as he's not up to something else. If the statues really were broken when the body hit them, then Hugh's statement about seeing the body before the mock trial is a big fat lie. Okay, Mr. O'Connor, let's get to the bottom of this contradiction about when you saw the body. Look me straight in the eyes and repeat your statement to me. Like I said before, before the mock trial, the body was, you know... I shall only say this once, Golden Boy. You had best tell the truth and do it now. That is, if your head wished to enjoy the continued companionship of your body. Wishes. And now out with it. Did you truly witness the body? Or were you just lying about it? Well, which is it? You what? I never saw the body.
Are you sure about that? Lie to this court again and I'll charge you with perjury.
There was no body on that stage. I've been lying about this whole time. I'm sorry. Do you know what? This gets you off as well, Hugh. Yes, you've exposed Hugh's big lie for what it is. But why would he lie about this to begin with?
Order! The base premise that the body was moved before the mock trial has been overturned. I imagine this has an impact on both the defense and the prosecution's case.
Well, first I'd like to thank the prosecutor. This brings us one step closer to the truth. Now, at least we know the body was moved using the wire and school banner. Indeed. That much I shall concede, Cykes Dono. The body was moved as you stated, and in the midst of the mock trial.
So both sides are satisfied then?
If the body was moved before the mock trial, we have our 3 suspects. But if the move took place in the midst of the mock trial, it is an entirely different story. Right. All 3 suspects were in the mock trial. That gives them solid alibis.
Objection!
How simplistic. Did you forget about the student in charge of the audio? Amidst the mock trial, she was the one soul who could leave and re-enter the lecture hall. Oh, balls.
What's this? Who is this person in charge of the audio?
Oh no! How could I forget it was... Hey, what's the deal here? Why is Judy so large in this shot? Juniper was also in charge of the audio. When she wasn't in the trial, she was in the audio control room dealing with the music.
Indeed, the one who could enter the art room amidst the mock trial to move the body was none other than the accused, Juniper Woods, for she was in charge of the audio.
No!
Why, yes, I see. That does make perfect sense.
This can't be happening. Instead of exposing Hugh's crime, Junie's in even deeper... No matter how you slice it, we're cooked. I thought it was going to end more in that sentence then. And here I thought Prosecutor Blackwell was on our side, at least on this issue. The Twisted Samurai strikes again. Twisted? It's more like Dirty Rotten!
Your boldness. It is time to put an end to this farce. The prosecution has presented a quite convincing case. But the defense had one last chance to voice any remaining objections. Well, Miss Cykes?
Apollo, what are we going to do? I've got nothing left. Nothing. Nada. Niente. I've been trying to think of something, but I'm drawing a big blank too. Poor Junie. Unless we figure out something, she'll be... Objection. Objection. Well, I object to, Thank you, Hugh. It's gonna be you. Stop right there. Why? Tell us more. All ears to me. It's time you heard about the rare genius of Hugh O'Connor. Okay, tell us more. Listen and you will hear the secret behind my perfect crime. Oh, really? Going with this again? Perfect crime. So going the confession route again, are you? Wait, this is some serious deja vu. Didn't we just go through something like this yesterday? Yes. Yes, we did. This had better not be another one of his enraging traps. The murder, the moving of the body, the cover-up, it all sprung from my brilliant mind. Well, go ahead. Arrest me. The real killer is right before you.
Order! Order, I say! Mr. O'Connor! You already confessed yesterday, then earlier today recanted your confession.
As if you mouth-breathers could comprehend my genius. The end justifies the means. Now bow down and kneel. Kneel before my great and maddening intellect!
Objection!
Yes, not. Oh, we didn't break it.
Enough. The only thing maddening is the ignominy you bear for all to see.
For it is impossible for you to have been the perpetrator behind this crime. There is no perfect crime, only a perfect alibi for you at the mock trial. And it is silly that I must remind you of this, but you are a participant the entire time. There shall be no mercy if you persist in hindering this trial with your silly little act. Hugh doesn't seem the least bit shaken by Blackwell's threat. Composure regained. Listen, Mr. Prosecutor, calling that a perfect alibi is beyond contempt. Your Honor, I'd like to take this opportunity to offer further testimony. I will now demonstrate the very moment of genius that transcended even perfection. Right, Hugh's confession. You won't believe this, but I used a body double. What? That wasn't the real me at the mock trial? What? That means I didn't almost lose. My body double almost did. What? I slipped out stealthily while my double took care of the trial. What? I had the run of the campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. Well, provide the body double then. What? Also implicates body double, doesn't it?
I have a question I was hoping the defense and prosecution might help answer. Is it just me, or does the witness's testimony make no sense at all?
No, it's not just you, Your Honor. All I got from listening to that was a headache. Yeah, that was just plain weird. Especially the whole thing about body double.
Well, I'm relieved it's not just me. And the prosecution?
Your boldness. Summon an ambulance this instance. The witness is stark, raving mad.
Yes, I think that would be for the best. Now then, let's pretend that never happened and move on to my verdict.
You people don't believe me? It's not a matter of not believing you. It's more along the lines of questioning your sanity. Yeah, the funny farm just called. They want their genius back. Shut your pie holes! The intellect of a genius transcends even logic! Besides, don't you guys have that weird device for testimony like this?
Objection!
We're just not a weird device, and I don't waste him on ridiculous testimonies. Easy there, Tiger. Think of it this way. We don't want a verdict to be passed just yet. So how about we give Widget a try? Well, this is against my better judgment, but I'd like to conduct a short therapy session. Didn't you, like, locate Discord in, like, all three very early in this trial? Come on.
Your better judgment? I'm a judge, and it's far beyond mine. Yet I find it hard to say no. Prosecutor Blackwell, I trust you have no objections. Prosecutor Blackwell?
He's gone. The prosecutor said, rubbish, we will be out on a stroll. Then left with Detective Fulbright. How does he get away with stuff like that?
Then I'll interpret that as meaning he has no explicit objections. Alright, Miss Cykes, you may proceed with your therapy session.
I've seen my share of crazy trials, but this one takes the cake. The prosecutor just left! What the hell? Which means there's nothing to defend. Anything that we say, weirdly enough. We can make crap up. And justifies the means and all. Okay. Overwhelming happiness? What? You're really happy about this, what? You won't believe this, but I used a Bobby Double, did you? That wasn't the real me at the mock trial. It's just like, that's such a bad Buddy Double, man. That means I didn't almost lose. My Body Double did. I slipped out stealthily while my double took care of the trial. It's so stupid. I had the run of the campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. Was that originally part of the statement? Is that why you're happy? You still love her, don't you? Or something's going on. So we've got extreme happiness throughout the entire thing. Let's get to the end of the testimony and see what they say after this. Must be the seventh statement. I don't get this. His confession is overflowing with happiness. Maybe he enjoys thinking how his mouth breathers can't comprehend his genius. But this goes way beyond normal happiness, yeah. He seems to take an insane level of delight in his confession. Because he's protecting who he wants to protect. Even a normal level of delight would be weird for a confession. Then again, he's not what I'd call normal. Hugh, why are you confessing? Who is this really for? I feel like that's the key to his out-of-control emotion. Indeed it is. It is the seventh thing we got to probe on. Seventh statement on the list. Juniper's innocent. Are we... Who are we probing? Well, it's got to be Woods. It's just because you love Woods so much, yeah? Pretty much that.
Got it.
You're protecting Juniper. Mr. O'Connor, yesterday you said that you didn't really care about Miss Woods anymore. I already told Juniper, so I might as well tell you. I don't really care about her anymore. What? Why? Yeah, well, Juniper reported my secret to Prof Court. His secret? Oh, the bribe. She wanted nothing to do with me because I had disappointed her. That's why I don't care about her anymore. I was never trying to protect her. My confession was always about one thing and one thing only. The truth.
Objection!
Mr. O'Connor, you feel great happiness in the fact that you might help set Miss Woods free. So much so that it overshadowed all of your other emotions. What are you... I can hear it clearly now, Mr. O'Connor. The discord you've been trying to suppress. People don't normally feel like you do when you confessed. So Hugh really was trying to protect Juniper? Yes, I'm sure of it. Hugh's feelings for her are the real deal. 10% of the noise level have dropped. But that means his confession is... Finally figured out the obvious, have we?
Why, Prosecutor Blackwell, you're back.
The confession was naught but lies, save for the part about being in the mock trial. Can we all agree now that the killer is the one in charge of the audio, i.e. the accused? Why couldn't you have taken a longer stroll? No, you haven't unraveled the genius of my body double trick yet. You can't be serious.
Do you really expect us to believe you had a body double?
Yes I do. But if you think I didn't, then prove it. Either we quit here and Juniper is found guilty, or we play along with Hugh's delusion. Let's go with the least worst choice. But first, let me update his testimony. Okay, so we've got happiness and surprise about the body double. He's surprised because he's come up with it, I'm pretty sure. That wasn't the real me at the mock trial, so... He's still happy because he's protecting Juniper, right? That's what we're looking at here. And surprised because he came up with this. So I'm not sure if that's what we're looking for. I could expect surprise on that statement. So there wasn't really me at the mock trial. He's still happy. That means I didn't almost lose. My body double did. Why is he not... Okay. There was no emotions on the first statement. He's still happy. Still happy. Sad because he's proclaiming he's the killer, which I think is a real emotion too. That makes sense. And he's still sad because, of course, while Juniper's innocent, he'd go down. I'm going to look at this. So now his happiness is toned down. Was he upset about losing, maybe? Why is he not happy? I guess he wouldn't be happy because he almost lost. I guess these are really hard to do, for the most part. I mean, you could say a lot of things, like, you could go, why is he surprised on the first statement? But I think that's legit because, you know, he's surprised he came up with the thing. The fact that there's nothing going on here is an anomaly. Sadness makes sense for saying you're a killer. When his alibi holds up and makes him definitely not the killer, he'd be going to jail. You'd expect him to be sad. He's super happy still because he's trying to get Juniper innocent. So the anomaly's here. If I'm to go with reasoning, let's pinpoint happiness.
Got it!
I didn't almost lose, you say? Very odd. You exhibited happiness the entire time, except during the statement. You don't know when to give up. Wait, now that I think about it... No, don't. Stop making stuff up! When I left the lecture hall... It was during Prof Mean's pre-trial speech. That's when I moved the body. I then slipped back in just before the verdict. Okay, this is plausible. So you're saying you were there the moment your body double was about to lose? Yes, I was. Naturally, I wasn't happy when I saw that. In any case, I was at the far end of the lecture hall behind the screen. I figured no one would see me if I came up and went through the doors there.
Objection! Cykes don't know. How much longer will you indulge him in this charade? While it's true that none in the audience might see him go through either of those doors, the faculty seats on the balconies are a different story and have a splendid view.
I thought you could do better than that. The lawyer's bench is on the right side when facing the front of the hall. I use the door on the right side near the lawyer's bench. That means my movements were only visible to someone in the left balcony seat. But that seat was empty at the time, which is only natural. Empty? In orange? Okay. After all, it belonged to Prof Court. As we all know, she was already dead by then. Do we have a diagram of this? No, it isn't. That's Prof Means' seat. That can't be right. An empty balcony seat on the left side contradicts this piece of evidence. It's gonna be presenting the lecture hall diagram then.
Take that!
I have no idea where this contradiction is going, but I don't have any other moves at this point. Guess I'll just have to follow it and see where this takes me. You said the left balcony seat was empty, but was it really? I saw it with my own eyes. It was definitely empty. But what about this diagram? According to this, Prof Means was supposed to be seated in the left balcony seat. But if you left the lecture hall during his pre-trial speech, he would have been standing there at his seat addressing the students and faculty. No! This can't be right. You do no one any favour by exposing the falsities of his confession. I've told plenty of lies so far, but this part is true, I tell you. There was nobody in the left balcony seat. You gotta believe me. Huh. It doesn't seem like he's lying this time. Okay, Mr. O'Connor. Let's have you testify again, but this time don't spare any details. You got it. I'll repeat it as many times as you'd like. I mean, my ingenious escape act warrants repeating, considering I'm the real killer. All I really care about is whether that seat was empty or not. So the info has been updated on the statement. Why are you surprised? So the second floor was deserted. Oh, it's actually a completely new testimony. So you're surprised at that. That kind of makes sense, I guess, because you expect to see someone there? Yeah? Also, if you didn't actually commit the murder. Why won't you believe me? It's true, I tell you. Anger would make sense here as well, based on the fact that he's angry that if it is the truth, he would be angry, like with us, but we're not believing him. I went out through the back door without anyone noticing. So this is happiness because this sticks with his alibi? Or, you know, his not alibi, his incriminating statements. Then all I had to do was go through the empty audio control room. Why are you sad? It leads into the hallway, so I was perfectly capable of moving the body. So the third and fifth statement on this list with the happiness makes sense because they support his claims. The first surprise at not seeing someone, but the sadness, overwhelming sadness here in the empty audio control room. That is so out of place, it's unreal.
Got it!
So why are you sad? I detected powerful sadness and fear right after you said this part. It's as if you said something you shouldn't have. What's wrong with you? You shouldn't reveal a person's inner feelings for all to see. Mr. O'Connor, it's you who is revealing your inner emotions by the way you speak. Plus, I have a good idea about why you're feeling sad. Ah! You're a horrible person. Can't you just leave me be? You said that you went through the empty audio control room, but that's not true, is it? There was someone who returned from there once Prof Means finished his speech. And that someone who was in the audio control room was Juniper Woods. That's why you're sad and don't want to state it. Because you're saying, again, that she was outside doing stuff. Ah. I mean, isn't this incriminating our defendant again?
Take that!
I know you realised there was a problem with your statement as you were saying it. That's why you felt so uneasy. If the audio control room really was empty, that would mean Miss Woods was roaming around the campus. Ah! Mr. O'Connor, if you really want to protect Miss Woods, just tell the truth. Well, from here, another statement, another episode in a sense, comes to an end in the middle of a therapy session. There seems to be a lot more to go with this because, of course, we're still at 80% Discord at this point. But from it, we're digging out a truth of someone who also had the means to move about during that time. The end justifies it, it says. Maybe we're reaching the end in terms of truth. I'll see you next time for more Dual Destinies. Bye-bye.